Hello people of YouTube, this video is rather long overdue actually. Stuff and things have been getting in the way. But last couple of videos I did, one was to show you a hybrid hard drive and the other one was to show you, well, to unbox the PlayStation 4. Now, I sort of alluded in the PlayStation 4 video, I think, that I was planning on putting the 1TB drive into my PlayStation 4, and that is indeed what I've done. So what this video is showing you basically how to go about doing it yourself. So first of all, obviously you need to replace the drive, and to do that what you need to do is slide off the shiny plastic bit on the PlayStation 4. That can be done essentially just by grabbing hold of it and then just pulling it towards yourself. And as you probably noticed in when I do it, I actually take it off at a slight angle following the shape of the console. If you try and do it straight up, it just gets caught and it's quite awkward to do, so you just need to slide it slightly across and remove it that way. And then you need to take out the one screw that's got the PlayStation logos on it, and the X, circle, square and triangle. So if you take that screw out, that then frees up the hard drive to be removed. And all you need to do then is remove the 4 screws that are holding the hard drive into its own hard drive cage. And once you've done that, obviously you just put the new hard drive into the hard drive cage and put the 4 screws back in. And then all you need to do is put the hard drive back on its rails in the actual console, slide it back into place, put the PlayStation screw back in, and then just put the cover on. And that's it. You've now changed the hard drive on a PlayStation 4. It does get a little bit more complicated than that though. So what you need to do next is to go onto PlayStation's website and download the latest version of their firmware. To do that, just use any computer with a browser and go to PlayStation.com, and it'll probably take you to the more regionalised version of the website. The version it's taking me to is obviously the UK one because that's where I'm based. And when you're there, click on Support and then click on PlayStation 4. This may differ. The website layout may differ slightly depending on which region you're from, but hopefully the gist is the same. So then, what you need to do is look for where it says about replacing the firmware or updating the firmware. Click on that, and then on the page that I got, it actually gave me the option to, it told me how to do it. It gives you the basic instructions, but further down the page, it actually says, if you want to do it to initialize the PlayStation, which is what we're planning on doing, you have to go to this link to find the instructions on how to do that. So when you go to that site, what it does is then tells you how to go about it and how to format your USB pen accordingly. And then gives you a download link for a file which is probably 800 to 900 megabytes in size, and that's because it's the entire firmware and the software that goes on the hard drive, not just the firmware update. And so you download that. So once you've downloaded the firmware, what you need to do is to format and prepare a USB flash drive to copy it onto the PlayStation 4 with. Now, I found that you have to be pretty careful with which ones you choose, because my day-to-day USB flash drive is a Kingston Data Traveller Ultimate 3, and I found it's actually too chunky to actually fit into a PlayStation, all thanks to that nice design of it being slightly slanted, which is a bit of a pain. So I had to pull out my old USB pen, which was a OCZ Diesel, and I copied the firmware onto that, and that worked fine. But a few points to note. First off, you need to format it into FAT32. If you have it as NTFS or as standard FAT, the console just says that there's no USB drive here and it doesn't understand what you're doing with it. After you've formatted the drive accordingly, what you need to then do is to put some folders on the USB drive. The first one is PS4, and that's obviously so PlayStation knows where to look. And inside that you want to create another folder that's called Update, and that's obviously because it's an update. And then what you need to do is copy the update file into the update folder. And so from the beginning you've got the root of the drive, and then you've got PS4 update, and then the actual update file itself. What you need to do next is to boot the console in safe mode. To do this, you hold down the power button for 7 seconds. It will beep and it will start to boot up, and then it will actually beep a second time, and that will take it into safe mode. What it will then do is ask you to connect a controller by USB, and then press the PS button on the controller. So once you've done that, it then brings up the console menu, and at the bottom it says initialize PS4, install system software. So when you press that, it will then ask you to insert a USB device containing the appropriate firmware, whether that's, if you just pull it out of the box, it'll be version 1.0 or version, whatever version was the last one it was using basically, or later. So at this point you need to insert your USB flash drive, which has the latest firmware that you've downloaded from their website. It will then go through the process of detecting the USB drive and then ask you if you are sure you want to go ahead and do this. Once you click yes or OK, it will then begin to actually do the process and format the console, sort out the hard drive, get everything set up and ready to go. And once that process is complete, the console will boot up as if it's the first time it's ever been powered up. And there you go. You now have a PlayStation 4 with a replaced hard drive. I hope you found this video useful. Click the like button if you liked it, click the dislike button if you didn't, and don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.